Yeah, and it's the set 28 12 09 2011 12. Um, it's a system which they used by some criminal cases, and I start to use it by my works. Uh, what I took from this system, it's that I until now I don't use the names for my works. There is only the name of the set, but I use just numbering because I can see there is connection between every work, and each work is for me as well some experience. It doesn't matter that I see that something wasn't so much good, but in the result, it was good experience, which let me, or which get me to the something or some better result. Yeah. Okay, this set it's a little bit funny. I know I think in England, you know the TV show Mythbusters. It was very famous, and people send it to the TV like some stories, urban legends, and myths, and ask if it's possible to do it. For example, is it possible to make a gun from the forks and knives? Is it possible that if you drink a Coke with Mentos, that you will die? Or is it possible from the Coke, from the Pepsi, to make something like a engine for your moving? And I start to actually, the question was for me, what is real and what is not real? And I start to do I start to make this situation again, but not only from the Mythbusters. I collect stories from my friends, and I tried to do it in the real life, and the results were installations mainly, or photos, or some situations, and it was only about how you can hear some story. I am sure that it's real because my mother told me and she saw it. It's real. And then you hear the same from the other person. This happened to my friend. Or you can read, it's not true. Show number 3. This is from the one photo is from the school. Yeah, this is the system. And the story is about the paper, about the book paper. And I could hear the story like that if you have old books with the old paper, and you put the pages one of book between the pages second book, it's so strong connection that you can hang the car on it. And I choose the old fairy tale books. And you can see now that I put the pages on one between the pages second book. And I hang on it the bookshelf. in the gallery. I didn't know how long it will work. And I think in the time in the gallery, nobody trusts me, it will work. But I like that situation that nobody knew, is it real or not? And it works. And the bookshelf was hanging there 3 years after it fall down because the paper start be, I think, old. Yeah, here's like I have merged two books together by their pages. Yeah. And it's like I work with this situation like with the cases. Maybe number 4. Yeah, and this is a theory of the time dilatation. The theory is that if you are on the high place, somewhere in the mountains, the time is different than if you will be somewhere in the city. And it's as well connected with the stories that some monks are going to the mountains and they live there like years and years and years. And I was interested about this theory, and I had in like my home lot of plants, but I wasn't good in planting, and every plant died. And I decided that I will prolong life of my plant. It doesn't look like the highest place in Prague because it's quite flat, but this is the highest place in the Prague, and I place there the plant, and I left. Uh, this is other from the famous like.
I really love this one. Just wanted to say.
Reverse. It's looking for the needle in the haystack, and of course, I knew that I can get with the magnet the needle, or for example, if you put the hay into the water, the needle will go down and the hay will stay up. There's a lot of options how you can do it, but in other languages there is the sentence like that. If it's something very difficult, you say it's the same difficult like it's the same difficult like to find the needle in the haystack. It means that it's not possible to do it. And we start to look for it. And what is funny that we really found it. It's big occasion, but we found it. It means that it's possible. Everything is possible. This is other with the balance, and yeah, I think the YouTube is full of these tricks how to find the balance. There is like no glue, no screws, nothing, and it's other situation where you can feel some like pressure. Um, I believe that people can feel if it's something real and it's not a fake. And this was as well for me important to to give to people this, to feel it really, to find the small differences, or to see if it's like if it's in their possibilities to feel it, and it is. Yeah, this is from other like gallery, and now in the middle there is a video from the TV. It was very funny because I fall down. There was an advertisement with the vacuum cleaner, and the woman was like hanging on the ceiling, and she was vacuuming everything because the vacuum cleaner was so strong. And there was as well this moment that it's a woman, she's a woman and she's cleaning, and she's in the home place. And in that time, I already had a studio, and I moved my stuff from the studio, from the factory. Uh, I moved as well the smell of the factory. That was very funny event. Quite difficult how to move the smell, how to do the same smell. And I decided that I will like spend all the time in the gallery. I moved them myself, and I made the swing from this vacuum cleaner, and it's really working. It's how it's here written. The vacuum cleaner can carry a person is under pressure principle. But if you want to try it home, it's possible. But your wall has to be really perfect, like flat, no waving. And this gallery, it's actually old building, and there were some problems, and I fall down. There were some problems, and I fall down. Yeah. Number 16. The set consists, I think, around like 30 works. And as well, I started to do some additional works to the set, but I don't have it on my website. Yeah, this is like just the back with the olives and wooden sticks, which go through the back without breaking it. It's as well like simple trick, and it's working. You can try home. The water will drop, I think, like 3 seconds or 5, because the plastic bags, has to little bit like connect with the wood, but then after it will stop. Okay. After my first studies, I decided that it wasn't enough, because I really start to love to do what I'm doing with this set, which I showed you. But I was studying 4 years, and I really did something only maybe 1 year or 2 years, like some artworks. And that was reason why I decided I have to go study again art. And I was accepted on the Academy of Art, Umprum in Prague. Art and Design Architecture. Yeah, that's a complete name, in Prague. And in the studio of Jiří David. It was a studio of intermedia confrontation. And yeah, I was continuing, and I wasn't there so long time. I think maybe 1 year. And after 1 year, I went to Erasmus, but working Erasmus into Berlin city. And the plan was that I will be there 3 months and I will come back to Prague, but I stood there 4 years. And I was every week going to the school from Berlin to Prague. And then on the beginning, I didn't tell this to my teachers, but I started to have a Facebook, and all my schoolmates knew that I don't live anymore in Czech Republic. But our teachers, they didn't like that you live in different city, and to tell them, sorry, I don't live in the different city, but in different country, it will be not good. And I was afraid that they will be very angry with me and they will kick me out from the studio. But I think after 1 or 2 years, my teacher made a Facebook account and he found out that I don't live in Czech Republic. And it was okay because he realized that after so long time, I really going to the class meeting and everything is okay. In the Berlin, Berlin was for me same like Finland, and but much more better because there is a lot of people from different countries and a lot of types of artists, kind of artists, and I had the possibility to be myself, to I start to again had the feeling that I can do what I want to do, that I can do everything, and everything is for me possible. And it was a time I start to work with the embroidery. With the embroidery, I worked until now. Yeah, this is the first work from the Berlin. And this wood, because I was as well living in the artist house, and we were stealing the wood. The other people, they wanted that wood for the building of the bed and some other furniture. And I saw it like amazing material. And one day I wake up and I started to do this work. I cannot tell why, because very often they ask me why, how it came, the idea, or what happened. I don't know why. Just I knew in that moment what I want to do. And I really knew that I want to do the embroidery into the wood, but it doesn't go over all wood. It's really like if you do the embroidery into the fabric. And I had to find a technique how to do it. And I found it. Actually, it's very simple. And I drill it in some like ankle, the two holes in front of each other, just like 2 millimeters under the layer of the wood. And because every connection is different, I take a nylon and I shape it for each hole. And I do it. It takes 1 year, but it's possible. And for me, it was like this repeating manual work, as well something what I looked for the ways, for the structure of the wood, or here the breaks, how the wood is broken, I fix it. And I was just looking for the options, for the possibilities, for the ways. Yeah, here's, I did one more performance. Yeah, I stitch up in the gallery two of my friends together by their fingers. Because both, they were my friends. And the Prague is small city. And but they didn't know each other. And yeah, I connect them. And then I let them to like that they like later they had to set themselves to be free on their own. Maybe you can maybe you are now asking if it's painful, but it's not painful to work with the skin on your hands, on your fingers. But you can't go with the needle so much like deep because then it will be painful. Okay, 2012. 14. Okay, here are others boots. Option 3, it's the same details. Yeah. And this is an installation. Dear valued customers, I exhibited this installation 3 times, but every time it looked different. And it was as well time when the immigration was big topic, and I didn't feel like that I have to do some work which is connect with the topic of the immigration because it's trendy, it's actual. And I was still living in Berlin, and I was living in the Neukölln, which is part of the Berlin where lives a lot of Turkish people, Arabic, I think people actually from all around the world. But there is a lot of Turkish and Arabic shops. And each country has like their visual design, each like civilization. And when I saw this shop installations, it is definitely for Czech people very kitschy. And if you will have some design like that here in Prague, everybody will just stop and will say, wow, what's that? It's really crazy. And I was, with this burqa, I was curious about the design. And as well, I start be curious about how is connect our opinion with the education and with the knowledge. Yeah, with the knowledge. The embroidery on the burqa, it's actually tutorial how to make an ornament. And the nails are like the same, which I could see on the shopping assistants in the Turkish shops. It was a little bit weird, but I really loved to visiting their shops to watch the design of the nails. And there is as well the position of the person, because it's from the shop, and it's like a little bit erotic, and it's just a visual design, nothing more. I think here's some letter I wrote to the curator. It's been over a year now that I have been dividing my time between a life in Berlin and Prague. I believed I was on study visit here, but in fact, somehow, unwittingly, I don't know what is for word, I moved in here. I have commuted between here and Prague regularly, once in a fortnight. What do these two places mean to me personally? Prague, tradition, routine, sense of responsibility. Berlin, discovery, freedom, experimentation. What has influenced me most in Berlin? Yeah. And then there are some like short sentences, like statements of the installation. I am fascinated by shop windows. I am fascinated by material. I am fascinated by tradition. A beam is a tree. Burqa is a new fashion line. The sound of metro train invariably scares me. Glass is a many-colored thing. And here's the other wooden bean, which I embroidered. And the embroidery, it's is it a plant? And this plant is a parasite, and it lives on the tree. And it's very beautiful. It's decorated, the tree, but it's killing the tree. And that's the like paradox. The embroidery I moved to the walls as well. There was as well sound in installation, and and I think it's everything in that time. 16. Yeah. Showroom. This is some of the schoolwork. And that's a new time. I already finished the other bachelor, but I decided that I don't want to, that I cannot learn so much in the conceptual studio. And I decided for switching my studies to Academy of Fine Art in Prague, which is more traditional, and you can learn some very old craft stuff. Yeah, like some traditions, techniques. And they have very good workshops. And I was accepted, and I switched my studies there. and 2015, yeah. Okay, and this is the time that I switched my studies, but I was still living in Berlin. Here's another embroidery, and it's a little bit word game. If I translate it in Czech language, it means I will embroider it to you one or something like that. It doesn't has a meaning, but in our language it means there are two meanings. One is that I will like slap you, yeah, or I will like beat you, or I will embroider something to you.
I think like the translation that would make sense would be something like I will embroidery a slap onto your face.
Yeah,
That's what you'll
that's
say.
the connection of the both. Yeah, that's the right translation. Yeah, but there is like if you translate word by word, there are more meanings. Yeah, and that's a game which I like, that there's option of more meanings. And yeah, I did it to my hand. Mm, this is a performance, but I will not show you because it's a video. It's quite long. It was in the Stockholm. Here's other object, ready-made installation, and it is about actually moving and holding of too much, considers too much boxes. And the feeling was when I was living in Berlin that in the big cities it's very difficult to find a place to live, to pay an apartment, and you have to move quite often if you are not rich or if it's not your property. And I as well felt like that I was a lot of traveling, that I am still in move, and I have a lot of stuff which I carry, but inside of me, I didn't feel actually free. And the object it's made that the boxes and the camel, between the boxes and camel there is no glue, no screws, nothing. It's really holding just because the pressure between the ceiling and the camel. It means if you will touch of the boxes, it will fall down. And again, I wanted to show this fragility, how it's fragile, our life, and a lot of situation that it can hold a lot of, but everything can fall down in the second. In 1 second, yeah. Here is the set, the rooms. It was my diploma work. I worked on my diploma work, I think 3 years. And at this moment, I don't continue in this set. But it was it is set where I really work with the installation, like with my personal diary. And I choose some situation from my life um, about which I believe that everybody experienced them. And the part of the sets, there are some as well texts. This is the number 1, and it's the childhood. Yeah, 1. So this is the first manipulation. As a child, they take your photo at the nursery. They prepare this arranged still life, and you have to be unified and smile. And that's what I already didn't like at that time. I did not understand why do I have to pass that. And they said, for your parents. So I should smile. And the more they told me that I should smile, the more I cried. I have this photo of mine, eyes swollen from crying. It is the first time that the society push you to be in the certain way, to look like in the certain way, but you are still a child. That's why I let her the face, because I think that as a child you still have a face. As the time goes, you lose it more and more, just to be able to function at your work, at school, or just because of some reason. That it is also why I skipped faces and other necessary parts in the other works. It seems to me that people anyway don't need them because their faces can be changing every second. Number 2, bad influence. The silhouettes behind you, like people say something to you and you always change. And this goes up to the point you lose your head. You don't need it anymore. Number 3, this was originally hanging in the German offices. As I had this studio in Berlin, it was in empty abandoned job center. And the bureaucrats there, they had those things as a decorations for their offices. And it's all fake. This is some cheap wallpaper, this is chipboard, and the embroidery I found in the trash. And if you look from the back, you see it's a handmade. I like the contrast, something coming from the really a lot of work, and here this is complete fake that pretends to be high art. Mhm.
Můj táta se ve svých 78 letech.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the video went on. There are subtitles. Actually, it has, yeah, but it has 4 minutes. I don't know if you want to watch it or not. It depends on you. Clara?
I suggest we move on because usually the quality of the video when you share the screen is really bad.
Okay.
But I'm gonna provide your website link to everyone so they can rewatch it.
Yeah, okay. This video it's actually one of my texts about my father and my family. And here to the installation. She has this fanfare flower that she got from the shooting range and lost her head meanwhile. It is emotional. I made it in January 2017. That's maybe also important. In here, they already broadcasted the war in Iraq is over and that ISIS is moving backwards. But it actually were the hardest times, and my father is from Rava. It's number 8. The horse. And the horse, the highlight of the show. It's a man, the relationship. It tumbles down in your life and destroys everything like the horse when we pluck it here through the gallery doors. And then after in the relation, you swing up and down. It's not like you would ever stop. And one who stays up wins. Actually, these texts are from the show in Futura, and the curator decided that he will not write the press release, and he was giving me the questions. He just told me, now tell me about each work something, and he recorded it. But he didn't tell me that he records it, and I didn't know about this like records. And instead of press release and other stuff and the curator text, it was only text, like there was written what I said to him. It was a little bit surprise for me. Yeah. And I made the horse a little bit bigger, and of course there was problem to move him into the gallery. And we tried to really push him, but we destroyed the bookshelf of the gallery, the doors, the walls, the floor, actually everything, because this horse. That's the reason why I said that it tumbles down in your life and destroys everything like the horse when we pluck it here through the gallery doors. This photo is from the Finland, and I presented in the school on the exams. There was a set of the photo, and the teachers was thinking that it's not good to work. And I found it in my computer after a long time, and I start to think that it is for me good work. And I exhibit it again. Here's again some story. I did it when I was 19 at the school in Ústí. I was taking photos at the time, but simply they told me at the school that it is too bad. It is bad. Everybody said it is bad, so I erased it all and stopped photographing. which I wouldn't do now. It wasn't conceptual enough. I started at new media and was interested more in the aesthetics, not in the concept. Never understood what the other students are saying, how they speak 3 hours, and then have one paper on the wall. After I tried to fit myself in, but it simply didn't work because I don't want it. There doesn't have to be this thing that you refer to those other artists. When I was in Berlin, there is lots of artists. Too many. Typically, everyone says he's an artist. And maybe it doesn't matter finally what works they do, but that they are happy to do it. They really enjoy doing it. And I think in here people don't have this joy. It's this. This work is kitsch, very big kitsch. And it's, of course, about how to sell yourself. This is the kitsch. The pink one is exactly the metal one. Those fucking expensive Barbies. And that's also the selling of one's own. Either you sell yourself, and that is also to bury yourself a bit, right? But to also to somehow exhibit yourself. You have to exhibit yourself to completely change your visual. Okay, this work doesn't fit to any set. And I did the embroidery with this my technique on the table. It took me almost 1 year. And I used this table before in my studio, like a kitchen table. And for me, the table, it's as well the symbol of the family, of the meeting, some connection and peace. And I embroidered the tablecloths with the place for the plate and the cup, fork and knife. But there was nothing more. It is there, but you can't use it. It's like decoration. No, 20. Yeah. Later, I start to work more and more with material, and I learn new traditional techniques, but I don't work with them how I should work. If you are a painter and you use some colors, that's the same for me. I use this knowledges for making the objects which represents my ideas. And this set, the name is postmortem luggage. And I was curious about our connections to this world, or about relationship to the death. And when I ask people what they will take with themselves to, to the other life or whatever, if they will have a possibility, all of them, they said that they will, I don't know, internet connection or something. But there is all these things gives you possibility to be in the connections with the with living world. And people don't want to be alone, and they are scared. We are scared to stay alone, but in the end we will die alone. I start to work with the ceramic, and this ceramic is made by the pit firing technique, which is the oldest ceramic technique, and it was used actually as well in the part of the Iraq in the past and in the Africa. And you make a hole in the ground, and you put there some the nature stuff like wood, and you can put there flowers and whatever, and you burn it. It's this burn is without control. It means there is like 60% of destroyed stuff, and it explodes. And I collect it and put it again together. I made the ropes, and the reason why I made the ropes is because I think that our experience shaped us, and sometimes our past can hold us, and we cannot move, we can continue, or if we can take it to our hands, we can use it like a good experience and be a better in something, or to make a better decision in the future. And I worked with the ceramic that I turn it and like squeeze it, which is not good for this material. And I looked for the border of this material, border that is still holding together. I put the pieces together with the kintsugi technique, which is technique from the, I think, 15th century, and it's a very Zen technique. And from the something what is broken, which you can think about it that it's mistake, you can turn it to the advantage, to something what is ugly. You can make beautiful. It's everything just about the about the option. It shows the option how you can see the world. You can see the bad, or you can see the good, or you can just change it and to make it better. these are just some lino cuts print from the same set. Yeah, those works are as well from the same sets. It's a taxidermy. Okay, here are ceramics, other objects from the same pit firing. And here you can see the process of the work. Okay, at this work, I worked with the mistakes. I made it with the embroidery machine, but it's not this full computer controlled embroidery machine, but only in the halfway. It means that you still have to spend the time with the machine and to do a lot of work. There are two works together. I will show you the second one. Here's the second one. And between them is connection because it's a picture, it's the same picture. And I took that photography picture, that photo I took in the mountain. And it's a landscape in the forest with the water, and there are stairs which goes to the water, and there is nobody. Something very like romantic. And this black part, it's not a fabric, it's as well embroidery, but it's so like the stitches are so much closed that it looks like fabric. It's again on the technical options that I again went to the border of what you can do with the machine. I looked for the border, and the smaller one, it's opposite of this one, but the picture is made from the mistakes. Yeah, it's not like correct. Here are the ceramic masks, and there are as well some of them with the embroidery. I did the first burning was in normal ceramic kiln, and the second was in the fire. And why I did it, because I am as well interested about how we have a lot of layers, and the people don't want to show their real layers, and we wear the masks. Sometimes we have to wear it in the job or in some situations. Yeah, I'm sorry. I will just plug my computer very fast. Maybe you can ask already on something if you want.
Are we done with the presentation?
I can of course continue, but maybe somebody has already question.
I was wondering if there is some connection between these masks you just showed and the child portrait, because it's like a theme that you just keep sort of discussing.
Yes, definitely there is a connection, and I work continuously, and I think there is a connection between all my works, and the topic is still there. Sometimes it goes to somewhere to explore new area, but the basics is there. Okay, I can show more works, maybe with the glass, for example, the glass embroidery of the ornamental from this year.
I would also love to see the latest exhibition, the one with mirrors and hair.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that one. If you could tell us more about it.
Yeah. Okay, I will show something more new. It sounds funny if I say something new, because my works takes really long time, and I spend with them a couple of months. It means I don't have so many works, and the time is for me as well topic. I think there's big pressure to be fast, to be the best. You have a lot of books where you can read how I can have a more power, and how I can do more works, how I can wake up every day early and do everything. And I think that if you have a time in this moment, that you are rich, and time, yeah, that you are rich, because you can give your time, for example, half of year, just you can spend with one work, and that's for me richness. Here's some new ceramic, again ropes. From the last year. And okay. Last 2 years I work mainly with glass and ornaments. The source of the ornaments is for me the book, The Grammar of Ornaments. And I choose, each ornament represents some civilization, and I choose the two of them. Sometimes my choice is based on the contrast or on the similarities. In this case, this is exceptional. There is only one ornament. It's Islamistic, which I just turned it's only turned, and there it makes a lot of differences because it's that there you can see the star, and there is a connection, of course, with the different culture, but it's still one ornament. And the history of ornaments has basics in the nature, and that's reason why there is so many connections. And when I choose them, it's and I made a new picture. It's for me like a collage, and the new picture, it's from my words, it's something average, You can recognize which type of ornament is, what is the history. It's something different, something like average. It's not characterizing, it doesn't represent anything. And why I worked with the glass, because if you have an embroidery, the embroidery has two sides, and you never show the back side. It's a working part, and it's the ugly part. If I have a glass, the back part starts to be a part of the front picture. It means that both sides are one picture, and the glass is so clear that you can't recognize what is in the back and what is in the front. The other thing is that the glass is a very fragile material, as well very old, and I like to again go to the border of this fragility. Yeah, I drilled in there 1 millimeter big holes, and when I do these works, I can't do any mistake. Because if you do one mistake, the whole work is broken. Sometimes people ask me why I don't choose the plexiglass. And the reason is simple. The first thing, it's not ecological. It's not like a thing that you can glass, it's good for recyclation. The other thing, it's not real. It doesn't have the same possibilities of the lightness. Yeah, you are losing the light which goes through the plexiglass, and it's a imitation. It's like a cheap imitation. It's not real again. It's more simple, but it's not true. For example, this glass, the size is 1 meter 60 to 1 meter 10, and there is almost 2,000 holes. And I don't know where is the border, how much I can how many holes I can do into the glass, how much I can work with that it's still holding together. But this one works, and it was already exhibited, and it was traveling by car many hours. And okay. Okay, Clara wanted to see actual exhibition, but this is before before the works which she saw on the Facebook. Those mirrors are again recycled. Very often I use the material which already used a different artist, because in the past I was working in the gallery, and I could say it was for me really bad feeling that some artists made a big installations, and after ending, the most of the things goes to the trash, because it's just site-specific installation, and I don't agree so much with this with this style of working. And yeah, these mirrors are, again, I saved them from the different exhibition, and I draw the cuts, and it's a cut it like by hand, and then it glues. I glue it again together, and there are animal hair and human hair. In these mirrors, there are my hair. I had them before longer, much more longer. And I was again interested about the reflection, and how sometimes we are finding in the reflection something new, that something is changing in our faces, and the same how we changing our view on ourselves, on our surroundings, and these changings are based on our experience. It's a usual that if your surroundings is that your success actually depends on your surroundings. You know, if you will spend the time between the people who, for example, I give it just an example, who are very depressed, later you will start be depressed as well, or you will be exceptional, strong person, and maybe you will make them happy. But in the 99%, you will start to behave similar, and you will start to change your behavior. Yeah, in the reflection, it's a sculpture of my schoolmate from the sculpture studio, because it was a group exhibition in Prague. His name is Matouš Háša. These works are under the same set, and I worked at this moment. I worked with this installation, and I am continuing. It's a different. It's without ornament, and it's the first time when I start to work with the glass in the space. And I really want to go more to the space, and concretely in this works, I am interested about the gesta, like about the positions, you know, how you move your hands, how you move your body. It means body language, which very often tells more about you than your words. And the body language, it's very honest, it's real. I start with the hands because I'm very, I have a big weakness for the hands. And I used more glasses, I think 9 glasses. And I installed one glass behind the other. You can see it on the photos. If you go around, each view is a different, and the installation is a changing. Okay, Clara wanted to see the exhibition, which is now on Gampa. That's a city gallery in the Pardubice. And I don't have the photos on my website. Generally, I don't have so much things on my website. And the exhibition is still running. It's a group exhibition. And we are 4. All of us, we were schoolmates on the same school, Academy of Fine Art. And yeah, the name of the exhibition is Everything Was Always Better. And we planned this exhibition, I think 2 years ago, because this gallery made an open call and they chose us. But last year on March, it started to be a coronavirus and everything stopped and our exhibition was moved. It started 19th of January, and it's running until 7th March, but it was closed. The exhibition was never opened. Yeah, and here are the names of the artists. Matoush Hasha, it's again same sculpture, how you could see in the reflection in the mirrors with the hair. He was.
Can you see my screen? Sorry, just asking.
Again?
Can you see my screen? Because I wanted to, since you don't have it on your website, to share.
I was showing the pictures. You didn't see it? Because I was now showing it on the Instagram. But yeah, okay. It's good if you show it. I will just turn it off. Okay. On the picture in the backs there are my works, the mirrors, and in the front it's a work of the Martin Pondělíček. It's my schoolmate. He's still studying. He still studies on the Academy of Fine Art, but the last year, and we cooperate together. He did each circle of this work by his hand, and I think it took him half of a year. It's very heavy object, and yeah. On the other picture you showed here the drawings on the left side. It's as well from the Martin, and he was actually putting down the top layer from the pictures. Then there is my mirror work. And
about the mirror, because I remember you saying at the exhibition opening that it almost looks like random or like broken, but you actually decided to cut it precisely into these shapes. And I was wondering, why did you cut it this way? If there is any reason behind it.
Yeah, the all shapes which you can see are from the one same shape. It's just like the basics was same on the beginning, and then I made the drawings, and I only switched the positions. Yeah. But if you take the pieces of the mirrors and you move them and you put them together, each work will be same again, and it will have the same shape. It's like a puzzle. It means that again, it's a one thing that has more possibilities. There are more options which you can make, and I'm interested about this views and layers, and it's the same again with this what is true or what is fake. Yeah, the true has many positions, and the evaluation what is good or what is bad, there is many opportunities and options.